What an incredibly unique experience yesterday must have been for Donald J. Trump. It was for the country. There he is, larger than life, on his way to, downtown, to the police, to processing, to the prosecutor's office, to be, technically arrested? Look, you know how I feel about this. As he came through after processing on his way to the courtroom, he looked like a champion and one ready for another big fight. I call this picture Eye of the Tiger. In court, they actually see the indictment for the first time, and everybody seems to understand that it's a huge joke of an indictment. And then it's on to Mar-a-Lago, where he is welcomed by friends, family, supporters, in a speech watched by millions. And in the front row was our next guest, Donald Trump Jr. You can see him there in the pink tie. And he joins us from Florida tonight. Donald Trump Jr., welcome back. What a wild day indeed. How you doing?
Listen, I've been better. I guess, we're tough. We're used to this at this point, Greg. I mean, it's been, 7 years of constant attacks and Russia, and then impeachments and Mueller, and it never ends. I know that I'm not the upstanding man that Hunter Biden is, but I think if the roles were reversed a little bit, I'd be in jail. So I guess we're used to it. And unfortunately, though, perhaps that's what it's going to take for the country to wake up and understand just how far we have fallen. Probably far, much more than perhaps we ever would have imagined or acknowledged if it wasn't for Donald Trump. Meaning we were probably there, but they did a really good job of keeping their real feelings for the American people hidden. Trump just brought that out. And so hopefully that wakes people up.
Yeah, so look, I'm watching this on TV. It's unfolding, and a lot of the supporters are, look at that. But I sense there's real pain. I mean, this is hard for you. Is there ever regret that you guys got involved in all of this? I mean, it's great for the country, bad for the family. Do you regret it? Does he ever regret it?
I guess it depends on which hat you're wearing, right? If I'm wearing my businessman hat, it's less than awesome. If I'm wearing my father of 5 young children, less than awesome. As if I'm wearing my patriotic American hat, we have no choice, Greg. We have no choice. What politicians, what the imbeciles in charge have done to our country, have done to our economy, have done to our borders, how they've emboldened our enemies day in and day out. We have no choice. That same father of 5 young kids, has to leave them a country that they'd recognize. And so, no, we have no regrets. We have to do it. And again, we don't have a choice. We're fighting for our existence as a country. We're fighting for all that is good and decent about America. And all of that is under fire and under threat from the radical left and the lunatics. You see it every day with what they prioritize. The things they don't even talk about and sweep under the rug, the persecution of their political enemies. And, hopefully this is the wake-up call that everyone needs to see what's really going on in our government.
Well, you're an amazing warrior. You're out there on social media. You own the libs all the time. By the way, your life changed incredibly. I mean, you were always Donald Trump Jr. You were Donald Trump's son. And that was kind of that was a certain type of life, I guess, a status. It was a thing. But now you're Donald Trump Jr. I mean, the name is historic. The name is iconic in a way that it wasn't 7 years ago. I mean, it was a big deal. What's that like? And does my question make any sense? Forgive me, but
it does. Listen, put it this way. Being Donald Trump Jr. 7 years ago as the son of a billionaire real estate developer and, TV star who was loved by everyone across the country was a lot easier than being Donald Trump Jr., political activist fighting for his father to get a conservative back in the presidency. It would have been a lot easier for all of us to shut up, build buildings, be invited to the cool person party. That was sort of interesting. The second he announces all the people that denounced us, I'm like, that's weird. We had dinner last month. What changed? But you see that. I mean, the hypocrisy of the people that now hate Donald Trump that used to love Donald Trump. We're actually putting out a book about it called Letters to Trump from all the radical lunatics that used to kiss his proverbial rear end. It's just shocking what's going on when you stand up for hardworking blue-collar Americans. And I understand the irony of a guy like Donald Trump being that voice. But we need a guy like Trump right now. We've seen how far we've fallen. We've seen how corrupted they are. And you need someone who, isn't afraid. You need someone who's totally unafraid to, burn that system down, because if we don't, I don't know that there's any recovery.
The indictment, even the haters out there, the Donald Trump haters, they're disappointed. This indictment is a joke. You guys were doing everything it looks like above board. And look at this, full screen 16. This is actually from the charging document. The first check was paid from the defendant's trust and signed by Trump Organization CFO and the defendant's son as trustees. This is not the kind of thing you do if you're trying to hide something, if you're trying to deceive. And by the way, is that son you or is it Eric? Did you know about this part?
That son is me. And like I said, it's clearly also not a campaign finance violation if it's from his own trust, not to a campaign, not from a campaign, not from funds raised from, so none of it actually makes any sense, right? But again, that's what we have to wake up to. That doesn't matter. That didn't stop them from throwing, J6 defendants in jail for 2 years without due process. They only believe, they do their whole preaching, they're saviors of democracy, well, only one way, right? They don't believe in democracy the other way. They don't believe in, if others have differing views of theirs, they don't believe that those people have any rights. And they've demonstrated that very clearly, especially over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so, that's clear, and that's what we're fighting for.
You spent a good chunk of your childhood in the woods, hunting and things like that. And I know you also a good chunk of your childhood in the city. Did you ever cross paths with Alvin Bragg? I'm told that he may have gone to some of the same schools. Did you ever in your life meet this guy? And I think we have some video of him. He really he did not impress many people yesterday during this press conference and through his paperwork. Did you ever meet him, and do you have any thoughts about him?
Not that I know of. I may have. I mean, I lived there for 40 years of my life. I have since escaped and now live in Florida, where let's just say the atmosphere is a lot better, a lot friendlier, a lot less crime. You don't have to worry about those things. And again, just a few short years ago in New York, you didn't have to worry about it. I have friends, their wives, they go to work and they get together after work because they're afraid to travel on the subways by themselves. They try to go in groups and. I'm hearing these conversations. It's like New York's turned into this dystopian society in such a short period of time, and they've allowed it. You've seen this felony count spike. You've seen the carjacking spike, the muggings. Like they could care less. But let's go after Trump with an indictment that even the people at CNN are saying, "Wow, that's it." You can see how distraught they are that's it. That's what after 6 years. The walls are closing in. Greg, we've been hearing this for. Half a decade. And here we go again. And when even they are shocked at how little substance, when they are knocking it, I think it tells you everything you need to know.
Real quick, you're good at this stuff, whether you like it or not. Okay, the combat every single day. You're Donald Trump Jr. Are you going to run for office someday?
Oh, God. I don't know. You got to want the day job, too. I mean, I believe in this stuff. I fight for it. Like I said, it'd be a lot easier to be in New York and shut up and build buildings and not be a conservative and not talk about it, even if I was. And, that's just not the way I am. I'm out there. I have my own podcast on Rumble talking about these issues all the time. Just, we got to fight for it. I have those 5 kids. I got to make sure the country we are leaving our children right now is in serious trouble. And, perhaps the events of the last week have shown us that, perhaps we've even crossed that Rubicon. Hopefully people realize that, but we have to salvage her. It's not about changing direction. We have to pull her back off the brink. And that's not going to be easy. That's going to require everyone, Greg. People have to wake up and understand what's going on. And they have to realize that if they can do it to Donald Trump, they can do it to anyone. And if they will do it to Donald Trump, they certainly will do it to someone who doesn't have the means to defend themselves, doesn't have the huge soapbox or following to be able to get their side of the story out. They've made that very clear. And that's, again, what we're fighting for.
Donald Trump Jr., Executive Vice President of the Trump Organization and son of the president, and also the father of 5. Please, our best to the family, especially those kids. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Greg. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, and we'll be right back.